Hey collective. So I'm gonna do a quick message here in the car. Yesterday while I was at work, I got a message, a download, and the picture Spirit put in my mind was it was like so this was the message. There are gonna be people, hold on. A lot of people if worship music was played or scriptures were played, you could become easily bothered and irritated. And when I got that message, I said, why? And Spirit said, because your sins will be called out. So make peace with those sins and change. I don't know who this is for, or maybe this might be for everyone, right? I know it's so easy for us to be like, he did this, she did this, they did that, they did this, right? But let's not isolate what they did to one situation, to one circumstance, to one point in time. Let's look at the bigger picture. When we're on this path, we have to look at everything. Why did this, certain situations happen? Okay. Were you, and somebody may have a hard time speaking about this because my throat is closing, or what you call it, accepting the truth, being honest with themselves. I like to keep it real sessions with myself. I don't know about you guys, but I do. In the beginning of my journey, Spirit made me look at everything. It was like Spirit was walking me through everything I've been through, everything I've done to people, the words, the stuff that I have said to people out of anger. Maybe I wasn't behaving so good, okay, in the beginning of my adolescence. So I'm gonna just say it like this. It was easy for me to say, because my ex-boyfriend, he's the one who put me through my awakening, this major awakening that I'm in now, right? Which guided me to open my channel, start tarot, and go through all the towers that I went through at one time, right? And it was, in the beginning of it, it was so easy for me to be so mad with him, right? I was mad, but I was still praying for him because I didn't want to have a dark heart. I didn't want darkness to consume the pure love, compassion, and forgiveness that I have for people, right? Because I couldn't believe he betrayed me. And Spirit had to make me sit down and realize, were you so good in that relationship? Were you that good? No, there were times when I found out he cheated on me with his baby mother. I stepped out on the relationship myself. Two wrongs don't make a right. And that was one of my sins. I didn't want to face it. I always looked at it like, well, he did it first, right? But we need to look at things very differently. Spirit was making me look at all my sins, all my things that I did in my life. I just had an epiphany the other day doing one of my readings. If you guys seen that reading, you would know which one I'm talking about. I held a grudge with my mother for 34 years. Was it 34? No, it couldn't have been 34. 32. 32 years. 32 years angry with her because of a relationship that I wanted her to be in. That was not good for her. My father, the truth of the matter, was an alcoholic. He was a mujeriego, what we call in Spanish, a player. Sleeping with everybody on the block, all the females. Bitches that say hello to my mom and everything. Okay? My dad was not. He would drink all his money away. And when my mom was depressed. She became an alcoholic. Because she gave him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. 4 kids. And she thought she was going to be with him. I could just imagine what she was thinking and why she went into that deep slumber. And I say that to say this. Spirit is saying a lot of people, and the image that Spirit put in my head was like a group of people. Let's say there's like a group of people. I was sitting at work and I'm looking at this call center and I'm like, if I started playing worship music, how many people would be easily bothered and irritated? If I played scriptures right now, those scriptures would call out their sins. That's how Spirit was showing this to me and telling me. And I was like, wow. And the image I got was like people going like this in my head, like getting irritated, right? It would be funny sometimes. I'm like, how many of these people would get up and walk away from the word? Some people just don't want to hear the truth. Some people don't want to admit, and I don't think it's Spirit sitting here saying you were a bad person. It's Spirit saying face those sins so that when it comes up in conversation, in scriptures, you've made peace with it. Be honest with yourself so that those things don't become demons that haunt you at night. That's what Spirit is saying. That's exactly what Spirit is saying. A lot of people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And I think Spirit wants people to stop and reflect. Reflect. Don't be so quick to point people out and be like, he, she, they, whatever did this to me. What about your past wasn't so good that created this ripple effect of somebody breaking your heart or somebody doing something to you? I'm not saying all situations is based off of what you've done, because I've never raped anybody and I was raped. I'm not talking about those kind of situations. I'm talking about facing the things that are keeping you up at night, that are haunting your sleep, that are not allowing you to sleep, that you don't want to think about because it just, you don't want to think about it, right? Because it's too much to bear. Right? We have to be honest with ourselves. Spirit made me have a keep it real session with me many times throughout this journey. And I'm still learning. I just had an epiphany the other day talking about that. Holding on to anger when I could have been relieving, having more time with my mom. Just like we are not perfect, our parents were not perfect. There's no, we got to remember, before us that have chosen, that have been awakened, the ones before us have been walking in generational curses and slumber. They have no idea that there are curses placed on them and that they keep repeating cycles and the stuff that they do, right? We can't hold anger towards these people. And I was sitting there thinking, like, I can't believe I was so angry and mad at my mom for choosing herself. Like, and I was so selfish thinking about just my father. I was angry that I didn't get to build a relationship with my father, that it closed me off from building a relationship with my mom. Could you imagine all those years? Just, shit, I just ate a red light, guys. Shit. All those years. Could have been time well spent, memories built. But I was so simple-minded that I didn't realize. 11/11. I'm grateful that God woke me up when he did, because I asked my mom for forgiveness back in 2021 when COVID happened and all this happened to me. When I lost everything and my relationship woke me up in my awakening. And I realized it wasn't easy being a single mom, because I myself at that time was a single mom. And I only have 4. My mom had 7 of us. I could just imagine how hard it was for her. Trying to keep my mom kept us all together. Let me tell you, people have tried to put CPS on us, get us taken away, separate us from my mom. But the one thing I could say about this is my mom always made sure we were together. And I feel like the reason why that was like awakening for her was because my mom was in an orphan. She was in a home. She was displaced from her home. She was taken away from her mother. She was placed in a foster care at a young age. And I feel like that was one of her fears, was separating her kids. So she made sure 1, 2, 3, 4 that her kids never were taken away from her. And we were never placed in different homes. She made sure of that. And I'm sitting here and I'm talking to myself and I'm like, I have to be honest with myself. I was blocked off from seeing what God was showing me. And yes, I was able to forgive everybody else around me, but I was not able to forgive my mom. And I forgive her. I told her this. I said, I didn't understand, Mom, why you were drinking. I was so angry that you were drinking, but I never looked at the fact that my father was an alcoholic and he played a big part in that. In you drinking, you being depressed. I understand now why you had to move on from my father. I get it. She did what was best for her at the time. She followed her heart. My mom, she loved God so much. She believed in God. And she forgave everybody. Everybody. And that's something my mother instilled in me. When it comes to love, it should have nothing to do with money. Love doesn't have a value, a physical value. Love is here. Anyway, I feel like Spirit wants some of you guys to really check in with yourself. Check your ego. I had to be honest with myself, and I had to realize, and this was a big awakening. Me losing my mother was a big awakening for me. Oh, an eye-opener that, yes, I was forgiven to everybody else, but what was it that was holding me back to be forgiven to my mom for so many years? I had to check myself. A lot of us are expecting apologies that we're never going to get. You have to let go of situations. Anyway, somebody here needs to face their sins, their demons, so that these demons don't consume you, because that's what's blocking you. It's blocking you from the flow of love. It's blocking you from moving forward. It's keeping you at a standstill. It's not allowing you to reach your peak, your highest potential. Somebody may be fearful. Spirit is saying it's about time you let the good times roll in, baby. Let the good times roll in. And face those demons. Whatever's keeping you up at night. Whatever it is that you're trying to block and you don't want to hear about it. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to see it. It gives you tremors. You know what I mean? Like, face it. So that you could put light in those dark places. So it doesn't bother you no more. Let it go. Have a talk with this shit. I know it took me a few years. I kept talking to my demons like, bitch, fuck out of here. Listen, you need love too, demon. Let me hug you. Let me hug that masculine, that ego side of myself that was too pride to let vulnerable, like, softy in. They're like, Liz, what are you talking about? I know what I'm talking about. Okay? I had to do that with myself. I had to sit there and hug myself. There was a lot of uglies that I didn't like about myself. And was I out here killing people, drugging people up? No, I was not doing shit like that. But there were certain aspects of myself that I didn't like. And I allowed fear to make me do stupid shit and not be honest with myself. I'm very proud of the woman that I have become. I'm so more conscious now than ever of decisions that I make. Whereas of before, I used to be like, fuck it. No. Not anymore. Anyway, this is a message for somebody out there. Okay? Maybe listening to scriptures will help you. Okay? I love you guys so much. Love and light.